Hey everyone, welcome back to the Random Article Podcast. I'm your host, Gitan, joined as always by Madison.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. Our goal here is to read every Wikipedia article ever written, and to do so we're going to flip through them randomly one by one by clicking that random article button. Let's get into it.
It's beautiful.
Let's talk about pulp capping. Pulp capping is a technique used in dental restorations to prevent the dental pulp from necrosis after being exposed or nearly exposed during a cavity preparation from a traumatic injury or by a deep cavity that reaches the center of the tooth, causing the pulp to die.
They really couldn't come up with like a better word than pulp. It makes me feel nauseous.
Pulp is not a good word.
Mm-mm. Actually, orange juice pulp doesn't bother me because I like it. But any other pulp. You don't like orange juice pulp?
I'm a pulp-free man.
I don't mind it.
But why? It's just so mushy.
It's like a smoothie.
I am of the sort who doesn't like to eat when I drink. This is like boba. It's like I don't like the bobas because like I'm trying to drink and then things are like shooting down my throat.
Boba's dangerous, actually. Thinking about it, it really is. Like these little slippery little balls.
It's like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it's delicious. That's how it makes sense, though.
But like when you're drinking like a drink, especially with a straw, you drink it into the back of your throat. But like
I don't.
You drink
so
it.
You
like,
you don't taste anything if you drink it through a straw. It just goes straight down.
Well, I mean, you get it touches around, but you
I
fill your mouth.
Suck it into my mouth, and it's in my mouth, and then I swallow it, just like I do when I like drink out of a cup. Maybe you're drinking wrong. Maybe that's your issue with pulp.
When you drink out of a cup, you don't drink it straight down your throat. You fill your mouth.
Not like big cheeks, but it goes into your mouth, and then it goes into your throat. Do you just gulp? Do you just like tip it and like gulp, gulp, gulp?
Okay, so I just drank. I like put it onto the back of my tongue and then like push it down. Shove it down.
Mm-mm. This goes into the front of my tongue.
That's so weird.
But this is a straw. Let me see with that one. Hold on. Mm-mm. Goes into the front of my mouth. No, you're drinking wrong. This is your problem.
Am I drinking wrong? Or is everyone else drinking wrong?
You did not just open a tab to see how you're supposed to drink. I saw the light shine on your face.
I was switching back to pulp capping.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So what is the pulp? Dental pulp. I think that's where we need to establish ourselves.
It's the stuff. Like, what, nerves and that stuff?
Pulp. The pulp is the part in the center of a tooth made up of living connective tissue and cells called odontoblasts.
Mm-hmm.
The pulp is a part of the dentin pulp complex. The vitality of the dentin pulp complex, both during health and after injury, depends on pulp cell activity.
So, is the pulp the same thing? Did you ever, when you were younger, have a loose tooth that was like hanging?
Yes.
That's pulp, isn't it? Because look at the diagram. There's like pulp, and then there's
the nerves and blood vessels.
Oh, that's what it was.
And
then.
the root canal. You have those like the two if your tooth was a person, it would walk around on those two little legs. Yeah,
those are just the back teeth, right? Or do all teeth have that?
Do front teeth not have legs?
I don't know.
Well,
I quit dental school.
We are not qualified for this podcast. Well, the pulp is basically the center of the tooth that has the juicy bits that actually connect to your body.
Oh,
that you can
come on.
feel.
Do you have to call it juicy bits?
If you, like, tap your tooth, you can't feel it. But if you tapped the pulp...
You would know you're tapping the pulp.
You would know you're tapping the
pulp.
You'd
be like, there's the pulp.
That's the pulp.
Okay, so they cap the pulp so the pulp doesn't get tapped. Right?
Yeah, I don't know what pulp capping is.
Yeah, they still didn't say what they do to it.
Okay, so I believe it's if the cavity is too deep. So a cavity is literally a cavity. It's like a hole in the tooth.
Right.
And if the cavity is so deep, it can go into the pulp, which is the juicy bit.
Then they cap it.
Yeah, and then the pulp capping is they cap it, because if the cavity is too deep, they need to cap that.
So what do they just, like, cement in there or something?
Sedative material.
And that gets hard? This is way above our pay grade.
There's a whole section about materials. You could use zinc oxide eugenol, also known as Zoe. It's controversial, though.
Of course.
This is due to eugenol being cytotoxic to the pulp.
Oh, you don't want to damage that pulp. That pulp is important.
Okay, but then you can also use glass and resin, so you can put glass on your teeth. This is due to the superior properties of good biocompatibility and adhesive nature, providing coronal seal to prevent bacteria infiltration.
This is just riveting.
I mean, isn't it? You could use a calcium hydroxide cement. It's an organometallic cement.
Who knew that you could cap your pulp with all this stuff?
You could even use a mineral trioxide aggregate.
Oh, but what are the success rates, Bijan? That's what you're not taking into account.
Well, let me tell you.
Your mineral trioxide aggregate and calcium hydroxide found varying success rates of 73% to 93%. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
That's not bad. Indirect pulp capping has had a success rate of 90.3% regardless of which material was used, but stated that it is preferable to use non-resorbing materials where possible.
See also pulpotomy, which is the study of pulp.
Oh, geez. There's some boring stuff out there.
Actually, it's a minimally invasive procedure performed in children on a primary tooth. Well, now we know about tooth pulp. Let's move on. Let's talk about Valravn is a roller coaster.
Valravn. Or Valraven.
Okay, so you're saying it with so much confidence that might be right.
Which one? Valraven?
Oh, you said both with so much confidence.
They're both right. Okay, it's in Ohio, so people don't talk very fancy there.
It's at Cedar Point.
Is that a place I should know?
Oh, it's like one of the most famous amusement parks in the contiguous United States.
Really? Is it the big one in the mall?
No. This is that's the Mall of America. I watched a lot of the Travel Channel as a child.
Yeah. Okay.
And Cedar Point was always there.
Yeah, to give you an idea, I've never been east of Arizona. So, wait, just kidding. I totally went to Utah. What are we going with? Valraven, probably.
Yeah, I like Valraven.
That sounds nice.
Built and designed by Billard, it's the first dive coaster model in the Cedar Fair chain of parks. Opened in 2016 as the tallest, fastest, and longest of its kind in the world.
What's a dive coaster? Like when it takes you up and then you just fall? Oh, I see. Like right here. Yeah. That is straight up and down.
It looks terrifying. It features one or more near vertical drops that are approximately 90 degrees, which provide a moment of free falling.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, essentially, you dive.
There's one in California Adventure like this, right? Like their main roller coaster.
Looks like there's 14 of them in the world.
That's it?
Yep. If you think about it, there's probably not that many roller coasters.
No, there are. There's even a freaking roller coaster in like Vallejo. Six Flags. There are a lot of roller coasters out there.
Well, yeah, like Six Flags Vallejo. That's like a big coaster place. How many amusement parks are there in the world, right?
But are you counting the like mobile roller coasters, the little tiny ones for kids that go around to fairs?
No,
stationary, like big people.
You
rides.
have to go over like 20 miles per hour.
Okay.
There's probably like 1,000 roller coasters?
Yeah, I'd say that's a good number. That's a lot.
It's only 14 dive coasters.
No, that's okay. I think that's not a lot. I think that number's wrong. But oh, it takes its name from cultural folklore.
Folklore.
Oh, based on a mythological bird from Danish folklore called the Valraven. So it probably is raven.
It means raven of the slain.
A supernatural raven. Cool.
I'm into the Valraven.
It says they're described as originating from ravens who consume the bodies of the dead on the battlefield, as capable of turning into the form of a knight after consuming the heart of a child.
Alternatively, as a half wolf and half raven creature. So they can also look like half wolf, half ravens.
So is Val wolf?
No?
Okay.
I think Val means like dead.
Oh, the Raven of Death.
And that's the name of this roller coaster.
Cool. So it's got a capacity of 1,200. Oh, riders per hour. So you take like the number of cars it has and probably like the average speed or length of the ride. It has 3 trains with 3 cars. Is that 3 cars each? I feel like they should be more specific.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would assume that each train has 3 cars.
I want to see this baby in action.
I can read you the experience. After leaving the station, the train turns 100 degrees to the left. Sorry, it turns 180 degrees to the left. And then begins to ascend its 223-foot tall chain lift hill.
68 meters.
Upon reaching the crest of the hill, the train turns right and pauses for several seconds as it slightly hangs over the edge of its first drop. The train then suddenly releases, descending 214 feet at a 90-degree angle, reaching maximum speed 75 miles per hour.
That's really fast.
That's pretty fast.
That's like if you stick your head out of your car window going 75 miles per hour, like that's a lot of air.
Is that a thing that you do?
No, I'm just saying that's like what I'm thinking. Like what would happen if I stuck my head out the window at 75 miles per hour? My hair would be everywhere. It would just be insane. And that's what all these people are doing on the roller coaster.
And then it immediately enters a 165-foot Immelman loop before rising into the mid-course brake run. And then it drops 131 feet, enters into a dive loop, followed by a third and final inversion with a 270-degree zero-G roll. Riders experience an airtime hill and turn left before entering the final brake run.
Imagine being the people who design roller coasters.
That'd be awesome.
And you literally show up to work all day, and like for the last 3 months, you've been working on the Immelman loop of the Val Raven. Gotta get it right. I gotta figure this out. Like, it's just like such a surreal thing.
You're saying this like Owen would not jump to have this job.
We have definitely talked about this before. I'm like, would you just design roller coasters? I don't think he was into it.
Really? Why not? It'd be so cool. Because like you get a few numbers wrong and everyone on the roller coaster will die.
Dies.
Yeah. Like not
awesome.
Not even from the fact that like the train derails or anything, but just from the pressure, it will just crush their spines and they will die.
Roller coasters scared the crap out of me for the longest time. Even on those little ones, like at the fair, like when I was a child, like a little child, I was like, I would go on it and I would just be so worried the whole time. And I'd be like, oh my God, we're going to be on the news and I'm going to be laying there dead. And I'm like 3 feet off the ground.
I mean, to be fair, the fair ones are terrifying.
Yeah, well, I mean, they fold up and sit on a truck.
Yeah.
Come on.
Did you see the video from like a couple months ago? There was a fair ride and like it was going, like it wasn't strapped down. So like the entire ride was starting to pivot. And so like all these people went running up to it and were holding it down.
Oh my God.
Have you not seen this video?
No.
But yeah, look at this thing. It's about to tip over.
Okay, let me see. I have an ad because I don't have ad block.
Why?
I don't see anything wrong. Oh, no.
A dozen people hold it down.
Why are they not stopping it? Like, that went for a long time before anything happened.
I think they did, but I don't think there's necessarily brakes on it. I think it's just...
Oh, it just takes a minute for it to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Never, ever, ever let your children on a fair ride. That's what I learned today.
Jesus, could you imagine all those people weren't there?
That's terrifying. That was like my worst nightmare. But you do, I mean, you see people getting stuck on rides at Great America or like Six Flags. Well, I'm sure it happens at Great America too. Oh, here we go. See also incidents at Cedar Fair parks. Don't mind if I do.
Hmm.
Well, I don't see the Val Raven yet.
There's a lot of incidents, though.
Oh, here it is. On June 26, 2019, 2 trains on Valraven suffered a minor collision in the station. No injuries were reported.
So you bumped into each other? Why is this...
Yeah, that's not news. Fake news. Huh. So I'd say it's a pretty safe ride.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you have a 90-degree drop.
If you're in the area...
If you find yourself in Ohio.
Go for it. Wow, they even detail, like, people being stabbed in the parking lot after the amusement park closed.
Oh, boy. Okay. Maybe we should just move on.
Every time I get to something interesting.
Parking lot stabbings in Ohio.
Yeah, a lot more interesting than tooth pulp.
All right, well, okay. Hold on. Let's talk about homosexuality in ancient Egypt.
Okay.
Homosexuality in ancient Egypt is a disputed subject within Egyptology. Historians and Egyptologists alike debate what kinds of views the ancient Egyptian society fostered about homosexuality. Only a handful of direct clues survive, and many possible indications are vague, subject to speculation.
They show on the right-hand side a statue of 2 women, Idet and Riru, depicted in a form typical to married couples.
Yeah, they're just like grabbing
so maybe
ass.
They were cool with it. No, they're... Oh my goodness. They're holding each other around their waist. Come on.
We don't know what's going on below the elbow.
Oh, they're sitting down, dude.
Exactly, it's the best time.
Oh my... Okay.
So, I guess this is unlike the ancient Greeks, where, like, 100% they were very into it.
Yeah, they were down with it. Everyone was down with it.
This is a little bit more disputed.
Oh, this is interesting. They say it remains unclear what exact view the ancient Egyptians fostered about homosexuality. Any documents or literature that contain stories involving sexual acts never name the nature of the sexual deeds, but instead use flowery and euphemistic paraphrases. So maybe it was a little bit taboo then?
Wait, what?
They basically use like metaphors.
Oh.
To talk about sex or like homosexual sex.
Homosexual. The best known case, it's weird phrasing, the best known case of possible homosexuality in ancient Egypt is that of the 2 high officials, Nyonkhnum and Khnumhotep, who were both men, lived and served under the pharaoh Nusiri during the 5th dynasty. They each had families of their own with children and wives, but when they died, their families apparently decided to bury them together in the same tomb.
Could have been BFFs.
You know, just very good friends, good roommates.
You never know.
Several paintings depict both men embracing each other and touching their faces nose on nose. These depictions leave plenty of room for speculation, because in ancient Egypt, nose-on-nose touching normally represented a kiss.
I mean, it says that, like, there's nothing, no documents or something saying that same-sex relationships were, they say, reprehensible or despicable. Nothing says that they were punishable offenses, where, like, if you look in more modern history, you would find a lot of that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like in the more... I'm gonna say ancient feels weird, but like the a little bit older times, it was just like, who cares? Like, we're all just trying to live past 40.
Yeah, we have other things to worry about. That's so true. I'm gonna go try to keep my teeth in my face.
Yeah, so. Like, if you want to go bone the guy selling sugar cane, like, more power to you, because then you get free sugar cane.
I mean, there's probably a lot more of, like, overall, like, if they're not hurting me, like, whatever someone's doing, if it's not hurting me, I don't care about it because I have a million other things to care about.
You know, hot take. I feel like it was really the Christians that really started doing the, like,
yeah.
If whatever you're doing, if it's not what I'm doing, then we have a problem.
Yeah, and making it like their mission to turn people. Well, good for ancient Egypt.
Is there anything else in here?
I like the nose-on-nose touching. I like that it has a link. An Eskimo kiss, nose kiss, or nose rub is the act of pressing the tip of one's nose against another's.
Do you think that, like, the nose-to-nose means kissing? Because, like, in their hieroglyphs and stuff, it's difficult to draw people kissing?
Probably. I don't know. I guess you could.
Like how it's really hard to draw hands. It's hard to draw people kissing.
Yeah, but they were also like experienced artists.
I mean, have you seen those drawings? I don't know about that.
In like this picture that they show, like the nose to nose, it looks like right before someone kisses. They definitely wouldn't show that if they weren't like involved.
Maybe one of them had bad breath and the other guy was checking to like make sure he was good to go.
Let me see if you got rid of it.
Yeah.
He's like the ultimate wingman.
Yeah, you never know. All right, well, I mean, there's King Peppy and his general.
Oh.
It's a well-known story.
I don't know it.
Well, dating back to the Middle Kingdom, it's a story that tells about an anonymous citizen who comes to the audience hall of King Peppy II. The citizen wants to lament about an unnamed circumstance, but the king does not want to listen to the laments, so he orders his royal musicians to drown the stranger's speech with noise.
Rude.
Disappointed, the stranger leaves the palace. This happens several times.
Like, he kept going in, like, I want to complain to you, and the king kept going, no.
He just kept on cranking the volume every time. So the king orders his friend, the high official Jetty. Oh no, the dude orders his friend to follow the king. King, in turn, is frequently leaving the palace during the night. Jetty finds out that the king keeps visiting his loyal general officer for several hours, and then returning home.
You don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're playing cards.
Yeah, they're playing Uno over there.
Yeah, like, come on. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Well, this chapter, where King Peppy is visiting his officer, is the subject of passionate discussion, especially once certain phrase stays in the center of investigation. The text says that His Majesty went into Sassanet's house and did to him what His Majesty desired.
Ooh.
Everyone says they do it. That's where that comes from.
So did this guy ever get his complaint taken care of?
Yeah. That's what we really want to know. What was the complaint?
He was an anonymous citizen who wanted to lament about an unnamed circumstance. This is very mysterious. I think the high official was just being nosy and was like, no, I was following him because someone wanted to complain. and he's like, no, he was probably just jealous because he wanted to bang the king. And he's like, but where's the king going at night if he's not going with me? Yeah. I see through you, Jetty.
Jetty. Okay, if you click into Peppy, the pharaoh, the statue of Peppy has like a little tiny pharaoh sitting on his lap.
Yeah, it's Lil Pep. You never heard of Lil Pep?
So,
or do you think that he is the one on the lap?
Well, that's true. He is Peppy II.
Oh, that's his mom. Dude, I got this all figured out. Like, people trying to figure out ancient civilizations, just send me a picture of the statues and I'll tell you what's going on. No big deal. There
used to be, like, an ancient Egypt museum in, like, San Jose. Have you ever been to it?
Nope.
It's pretty cool.
I've been to the Winchester Mystery House, though.
You know, just on par.
It's the same thing. It's a museum.
Should we move on?
Let's move on. Let's talk about disclosing tablets.
Let's.
Disclosing tablets are chewable tablets used to make dental plaque visible. The tablets sold over the counter in many countries. I've never seen one. Have you ever?
I opened the article.
Never even heard of this.
I hate it.
Why? Because of the teeth?
The pictures, yes.
Because they're ripping apart their...
It's horrifying, yes.
That's what they do at the dentist. I mean, that looks like gloves, which is weird.
Yeah,
like you don't have to have 3 fingers.
They
literally have 3 fingers in each side of this guy's cheek, like ripping it apart. But there are like plastic apparati. Is apparati the plural?
Of apparatuses? Sure.
I don't know. They have plastic things that do this that would look a little bit more professional.
I've used them, yeah.
I don't know why this bothers you so much. This isn't your problem.
I think I just hate mouths. Like looking at them.
Okay. So the dental episode is not working for you, is what you're saying.
Like, look at the one on the bottom right. It's like, guy's such a gross, hairy upper lip. And then...
Well, yeah, he doesn't need to have a stash. Like, they could have at least asked him to shave.
So, disclosing tablets is just something that you, like...
Put it in your mouth, I guess. And then it dyes your plaque a color, I guess, so they can see where to clean.
So they can berate you for not cleaning your teeth well enough.
Yeah, basically. When they're like, how often do you brush? And you're like, oh, twice a day. And they're like, lies.
90% of a dentist's job is to, like, belittle anyone that comes in.
I want to see their teeth. How do your teeth look? Huh?
What, you don't eat carrots?
You're not supposed to eat carrots?
Like, when I had braces, I would have to, like, go in, they would change it.
You have braces.
They're like, oh, what's this stuck all the way back here? I'm like, yeah, there's, like, a bunch of metal in my mouth. So sue me. There's, like, a little bit of carrot stuck back there. God damn.
Oh, God. Like, everything stains your teeth.
Oh, yeah.
It's, like, ridiculous.
Tea, coffee, water.
You cannot win. You cannot win. So you can take your disclosing tablets, your little dyed plaque, and shove it.
Shove it right up your ass. And then we'll see what colors come out.
Oh, God.
Should we move on?
Let's move on. I've had enough of my dental articles for tonight.
Let's talk about pastiche. A pastiche is a work of visual art, literature, theater, music, etc. that imitates the style or character of the work of one or more other artists, but unlike parody, pastiche celebrates rather than mocks the work it imitates.
So this is basically like any piece of art ever?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like Scary Movie. The first one, not the later awful ones.
The first, it was entirely a parody.
Parody or pastiche?
Parody.
Well, so parody is like making fun of... Well, I guess, yeah, maybe it kind of was.
It was absolutely.
Okay, alright, you know what's a pastiche? Fast and Furious
What?
Movies.
What are they celebrating?
Action movies.
Okay. I think it's just an action movie.
There's like that element of being self-aware, knowing that this is like so over the top.
I can't say I've watched a single one, so okay.
There's a pastiche to it where it's like the first like 2 or 3, they're like kind of dumb, action-y, driving cars real fast. But then it takes on this sort of like, we know that this is driving cars real fast and it's kind of dumb, but like we're celebrating action movies and we're going to go so over the top, and like it's kind of like winking at you, and it's like, we know this is dumb and that's why we're doing it.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Yeah. But like it's also sick as fuck though.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
Like they know it's dumb, but they're like celebrating the genre, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I get that.
I feel like that's the epitome of pastiche.
Here's another pastiche.
Hit me.
What's her name? The girl that we hate but we love.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay. Here's another pastiche. Olivia Rodrigo and Paramore.
I could see it. I could also see it being copycat.
No, I think she was like, well, okay, she added them later, right? She added like Haley Williams later. But if she was upfront about it, like Machine Gun Kelly, that with the Reliant K, because he's totally all about being like emo pop. And he did it the right way because he credited them like before it came out.
Olivia Rodrigo didn't credit them until she got sued.
Yeah, for like multiple songs. It's pretty bad.
But yeah, pastiche, it's great.
It's everywhere.
I need to use the word pastiche more in my life.
Plot twist. They're calling Weird Al Yankovic that he has pastiches of other popular recording artists, but those are parodies. They're blurring the line here. They even call him comedian / parodist.
That's a good point. Where is the line between parody and pastiche?
Yeah, they say, though these so-called style parodies often walk the line between celebration, pastiche, and send-up parody. Which actually I can see, because here's the thing about Weird Al. He actually like released music. And people actually listened. I don't know, they probably still do. I'm sure he's still doing stuff. They actually listened to his music. It wasn't just like, oh, YouTube this parody. Haha, that was dumb. And then like people listened to him.
Yeah.
But then some of his songs like White and Nerdy, like it was just a parody.
Whoa, okay, no, I think White and Nerdy is the definition of pastiche.
I know, that was a parody in every way, shape, and form.
Clearly tell he loved the source material. That's a celebration.
I think he always loves it.
A celebration of Chameleonaire.
Oh my god, I can't believe we remember the name of that artist.
How
Whatever
do you
happened
not?
to him?
He had the one song.
I hope he invested.
I bet he's raking in the chameleons right now.
Oh god. Alright. We're done here. Move
Okay.
on. This has gone too far.
Let's talk about draft Condi movement. The draft Condi movement, or draft rice movement, was a grassroots effort to draft U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice to run for president in the 2008 U.S. election.
What do you mean draft? Like, force her to?
I guess, or just encourage. At the time, Rice had become one of the most powerful female and African American political figures in U.S. history. In August of 2004 and 2005, Forbes magazine named her the world's most powerful woman. I mean, I remember that because, she was leading the effort in the quote-unquote war on terror. She was fourth in line to succeed W as president, which is higher in the U.S. presidential line of succession than any woman before Nancy Pelosi became Speaker of the House and before Kamala became vice president.
I can't concentrate right now because my mind is going full circle and I'm remembering a parody. It was something about Condoleezza Rice, but it was to the tune of Fergalicious. So I really can't concentrate on this article.
Weirdly, it's not an easy find. I take it she didn't run for president.
No, I mean, she said she... So they were just trying to, get her to.
Right, because who did they push instead? What's his face? John McCain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rice repeatedly said she had no desire or interest in becoming president. I will not run for president of the United States. How was that? I don't know how many ways to say no in this town.
However, she had publicly expressed aspirations to become the next commissioner of the National Football League.
Oh,
She had her eye on a different job, okay? It's not that she was stepping down, trying to get away from things. No, she had her eye on something more important.
Yeah, something bigger.
That's too bad. She would have been a great NFL president.
In her defense, she probably knew that, as a Republican running as a black woman, she stood no chance.
Right.
Even running as a Democrat as a black woman, you stand no chance. And, running as a Republican, 5 times as much.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know if she ever wanted to or if she, truly didn't want to, but if she did want to, it sucks that she's just you know what? I'm not even going to go there because I think if she wanted to, she would have because someone's got to go there and take, that baby step and then someone else can go and, go a step farther. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But, yeah. No, there was no way.
Seems like there's a lot of dicks in her life. Under supporters, there's a Dick Morris, who was a former Clinton advisor.
I mean, she was a fan of dicks.
She loves a Dick Morris. She loves a Dick Cheney.
She loves a good dick. Okay.
Okay, all right. We need to talk about why is Dick a nickname?
I have no idea.
For
You don't know
Richard.
the number of hours I've spent thinking about this. What's wrong? What's wrong? Why?
We can figure. Let's settle this once and for all. From Thrillist.
You would think it was a name that couldn't be shortened, so they had to find some shorter version or some shorter nickname. What's wrong with Rich?
Rich is good.
Ricky?
I like Rick, Ricky.
In the days of writing everything by hand, Rich and Rick emerged as common nicknames for Richard, and apparently people also used to like to come up with nicknames that rhyme. That gave rise to nicknames like Dick and Hick. But unlike Hick, Dick continues to stick around today. It's actually, I feel like it's only older people who do that. If someone was named Richard now,